Okay, you came with Hector?
Out in Sweden.
Oh, Sweden?
Yeah.
How did you find out about us?
Oh,
You're the singer?
but this is the main guy.
Oh, okay.
Full of it.
I'm sorry, can I pray for you? I didn't know you came with him. Then everybody stretch your hand. No, just kidding. Where are you guys from? This is a Realtor, right?
I'm from Sacramento.
Sacramento. Great.
I was invited by him.
Awesome. From Sacramento. And what's your
I'm sorry.
Realtors? Regina.
Regina.
Hi, Regina. I'm Pastor Paul. And you're from?
I live in Fresno.
Fresno.
I used to live in Sanger and I was invited by Kike.
Kike.
You don't know Kike?
Kike. Juan Kike.
Kike Valdez.
Oh, okay. Again, I need to pray for you too. You know Ricky. Ricky's the one. Well, thank you for coming. We have Barbara in the back. You guys, we're gonna have a lot of different things going on here today. Okay. We also have somebody here who specializes in credit repair, Ellie, who will be speaking to us afterwards. So whenever Faith's ready to come on up, we're gonna go ahead and start the presentation.
Thank you, Pastor Paul. You ready to own a home?
Yes.
Where can I sit that Didi can see me? Or stand? Just here?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this light is
Right.
Thank you very much.
like we're in a television. So, who owns a home here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, you guys own 10 homes. Who wants to own a home? Wow, quite a few. Wow. Why is it that you don't own a home? Can you just tell me what the reason why you don't own a home yet? How come you don't own a home yet? Great, good answer. She doesn't know the process yet. How come you don't own a home yet?
For financial decisions.
You need financial assistance, but you have a job that you can own a home. Who else has any answer why you don't own a home?
I want to put a home on my backyard and my other home.
Ah, perfect. The accessory dwelling unit, ADU.
Yeah.
So, okay, excellent. You're in the right place. And hopefully with God's word, God's help, and what you learned today, all of us, that you can afford to buy a home. It's about mortgage-ready ability to repay, about owning a home. So the National Diversity Coalition, my name is Faith Baustista. I founded it in 2004, and we're collaborating with Time and Destiny, and then Clever Community Development. They are going to be a HUD-approved counseling agency. So today we're gonna be here for 1 hour and a half. We'll learn about the process, but I really want everyone to understand why and how can you buy a home. I don't take no for an answer. To me, when I moved here from the Philippines, I own a home already when I was 26 years old. But because I married someone that has money, so that helped me a lot. But at the same time though, when we got divorced, I was the kind of woman that was his, I'm going to build my own, and I did it. And I bought a home, and during foreclosure crisis, I lost that home. But I did not lose that because I cannot afford it, but it was not right for me, so I did the right way. But after losing that home, it was replaced by 5 homes, right? So life is a season, and you learn your mistakes, and as you know, it's the biggest wealth building. Hector, Mike will tell you more about it. So I want you to know that today and other series of the workshop, we are here, Time and Destiny will really help you access to the down payment assistance. And I think Didi from Mechanics Bank will talk more about the WISH program. After 1 hour of listening, take notes, have some, we're gonna have questions and answers, and we will be here to do one-on-one coaching with you. And that way it's not embarrassing for a question. Hector, Mike, myself or even Regina here maybe can help, so we can make sure we help everybody. So this is, I've done this since 2004. We became had a group counseling agent, so we know a little bit of this, and there's a lot of resources out there for the down payment assistance. So we'll talk more about that. So before I pass it on to the Mike and Hector, let me ask Didi, can you, Diane Reynoso, we call her Didi. She is in the mortgage department of Mechanics Bank. So Didi, can you speak?
So yeah, I'm Didi Reynoso with Mechanics Bank. I've been with the bank for 12 years. Before that, I was 15 years at another bank. And like Faith, I always wanted to own my own home. When I was in my 20s, I remember a real estate agent telling me, you're never going to be able to own your own home because people your age are never going to be able to buy a house. This was during the 80s and it was very expensive to buy a home. And I thought, that's not right. I know I'm going to be able to buy a home someday. So I went and I thought, who owns their own home? Realtors. All realtors own their own home. So I became a real estate agent. I studied and I got my license and I became a realtor, and that's how I bought my first home. And I'm gonna explain to you how, if you really want to, it's possible. You can buy your own home. It may not be today or tomorrow, but if you prepare and you work hard, you'll make it happen.
Awesome, Didi. Thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Hector Alavarez. I've been a realtor for about 3 years. I've been able to help many families. I've been able to assist many different organizations like this organization here to purchase buildings, purchase homes. And we're here to help. We're here to let people know that you can qualify for a home. You can own your own home. The reason I got into the real estate industry is because I was a student at Reedy College. I was studying communications, and I seen that there was a need. There was a lack of people that were Hispanic, that were Spanish speaking and also English speaking. So I needed to fill that void. So what I did is I started the process probably about 2016, and I started getting myself educated, started meeting the right people, started working with brokers. I got myself surrounded by mentors, and by the grace of God and by hard work and determination, I was able to become a realtor, and I am able to assist many families. And now what we're actually going into with the NDC, through Faith and through New Beginnings, or actually Time and Destiny EDC, we're actually going to be helping people get into homes by either getting them a HUD certificate, getting them some grants, getting their credit repaired, many different avenues that we're able to assist you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the first presenter. He's a broker out of San Diego. He has many years experience in this industry, and he works with the NDC, the National Diversity Coalition. His name is Mike. Go ahead and come up, Mike.
Life-changing stuff. So yeah, I had to drive from San Diego because Faith told me to do that on Sunday. So thank you, Faith. It was a long drive, almost 6 hours, but we made it. So as Hector said, you guys, if you are thinking to buy, there's a process. Through the process we're going to go through, it's like a journey, you know. And Level Community Development, it's a non-profit, it specializes in HUD counseling. And what we do is we try to provide the best programs to get you into a home, especially down payment assistance. And we're going to explain the process and we're going to explain the programs as well. Level Community Development, HUD counseling agency, qualifying homes in California. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to us in terms of the process or the down payment assistance. As you know, the process will start by home buying and thinking about the idea. It will start by getting the pre-approval. which is Hector, I think, mentioned somebody will talk about lending and explain the pre-approval process. And then the second step is the home search, which is based on your pre-approval, you guys gonna decide how much you guys can find a home. Let's say if they approve you for 500,000 or 600,000, that's what you can set up your home search. And then making an offer, once you shop for homes and you love the home, ask Hector to make an offer. And Hector will do his best to submit your best offer. Through the process, there is inspection and appraisal. You're gonna hire a company to inspect the home, making sure you know the home in a good condition. Make sure don't bring your family when you do an inspection because they're gonna tell you, oh, this home is not good, find you another one, you're gonna cancel escrow and open no escrow. So find you a good inspector and do the inspection, making sure to, take the inspection report to a contractor so he can give you a fair value for the repairs. And why you go through the pre-approval process before you start the home search is because you will know more about what you can afford. I have a lot of clients who will come to me and they will look for homes that, let's say, in the higher end, but then they will discover that they are qualifying only for the accepted amount. So, they get disappointed. So, you don't get disappointed. Start with the pre-approval process and then take it from there. It will save you a lot of time. Tips on finding a home: always make a budget. So even if you are pre-approved for more, make sure what's your monthly payment and with taxes and insurance. So if your monthly payment is more than what you can afford on a monthly basis, then reduce the price or put more down in order to reduce your monthly payment. And this way you're gonna afford your home for the next 30 years. And then, the relationship with your real estate agent and the lender, that's, you need to communicate with them, make sure you are happy and they are communicating with you and making this thing happen. Over here, how to make an offer. So Hector will explain more about this thing, but it depends on the market. Sometimes it's competitive, sometimes you just make an offer and they will accept it. Over here, closing costs. There's a lot of factors affecting the closing costs, which is escrow, title, recording fees, and sometimes other fees. So, making sure to go over the closing costs and have the money to cover the closing costs. Inspection appraisal, we already talked about the inspection. It's a guy that qualified to inspect the house, making sure it's a good house. And the appraisal is somebody that will be hired by the bank to see if this house worth this much or don't worth this much. And if it's worth less, then Hector will talk to them to drop the price. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think he's gonna get you to bring the money to cover the price. Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about my part. Level Community Development, it's a health counseling agency. What we do is we go through a planning process for 8 hours to give you a certificate. You're gonna take the certificate and you're gonna take it to certain banks that help you to qualify for down payment assistance programs. And trust me, there is down payment assistance programs, but people are lazy to go and get these down payment assistance programs. They just don't want to try. So we have HFA. This is a very important program and very easy program. Once you have the certificate, you go online on HFA, you submit your certificate and apply there, and they should give you around $6,500 based on your zip code. And this is a very easy program that will help you with your closing costs. Another program called Golden State GSFA, you can Google it, and then it's another program that you guys can apply once you have your certificate. And this one will get you up to 5% down payment assistance. And then, here, GSFA, Golden State Finance Authority. You Google them and then you apply there and you give them the certificate that we're gonna give you after you finish the 8 hours. We have California Dream for All, this is one of the best programs. Unfortunately, they don't have funds now, but hopefully in 2 months they said they're gonna, open enrollment and they will have more funds. But this is a program, if it's available, will give you 20% down, and it's called like share, but it's one of the best programs. So yeah, those are the, down payment assistance, and sometimes the banks have their own funds to give down payment assistance. So I'm not gonna compete with any lender, but there is like big banks that if you go and apply, they're gonna offer you 14,000. Like one of them is, I don't know if there is a branch here, but they are offering 14,000. Bank of America, they are offering 17,000 for down payment assistance, and of course they're gonna need the 8-hour certificate once you apply. If you have any question, you can reach out to us. Our office is in San Diego, but we cover all California. Again, we appreciate Diane, Destiny, and Pastor Paul and Faith. Thank you very much for the invitation. If you guys have any questions, we'll answer them. Do you guys have any questions?
So you represent Clever Community Development?
Yes, it's a non-profit health counseling agency.
If I can add on the down payment assistance of mine. So, if you are able to talk WISH program, can you talk to them about WISH program, Didi?
Yes, the WISH program is a program that offers the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco. It's a 4-to-1 match. So if you put $1, they put $4 towards your down payment or closing costs. An example would be if you bought a house for $350,000, you would be putting $10,500 down, and they would match that with up to $30,806. That's the maximum match. And what that does is it helps to reduce the loan amount that you would take out, which can avoid mortgage insurance, and it's a great benefit to you as first-time home buyers. You do have to income qualify for that program, so you have to be low or moderate income for the community in which you live. It's usually based on county income, and that's a calculation of all of the members of your family who are 18 or older and have any income at all. For example, if you're a couple with 2 kids and you have a parent living with you, and the parent doesn't work but you receive Social Security income, we would include that income as well as both working members of the household in your qualifying income. So that's a great program for first-time home buyers, and it is a program that gives you the money in the form of a grant. It has a 1/5 forgiveness over a 5-year period. So every year it's forgiven 1/5. If you sell the home or move before the 5 years are up, you would have to pay back the remaining balance out of your proceeds of the sale. But if you live in the house for 5 years, it's completely forgiven. So are there any questions about the WISH program?
So if you're a first-time home buyer,
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
If you can
so if
introduce
you're
your
a
name.
first-time home buyer and you're a single woman but has a decent job,
So if you're going to purchase the home alone, then we would income qualify you based on a single person's income for the county in which you live.
and what is the max out?
Pardon?
What was the minimum or max for a single person to qualify?
It's based on the county, the HUD county income. So we do it all over the state. We look at what county you're going to purchase in, and then we look and see what the HUD median income is, and if it's 80% or below, then you would qualify.
Thank you.
And just to add in that, this is where you really need to talk to a HUD approved counseling agency because they're gonna tell you where do you want to buy a home. What Didi is saying is sometimes you don't have, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Didi, if the area is within the census tract, that's qualified for the down payment assistance. So they go by zip codes, and the best really to look at this is if you go to HUD or the counseling agency, it will really tell you how much money you need to make. For San Francisco, when I was doing it there, if you're making below 130,000, you're considered low moderate income, so you're qualified. So if you're in Fresno, we have to look at there's a table, and this is where when you're ready and when we do counseling, we can tell you exactly if you're qualified. The tricky about this is if you're just $5 over, you will not be qualified. And Mechanics Bank is a member of FHLB, that's San Francisco Federal Home Loan Bank. Any members of that, they get allocation for their home buyers. So whoever's ready to buy a home, like let us know right away, then we can talk to Mechanics Bank or other banks that has allocation on the WISH program. So it's really good actually. Aside from WISH, what Mike is saying here, we'll probably give you a copy of his presentation because some of those acronyms that I cannot even remember. The city, the county, the Federal Home Loan Bank, you combine that. We have some buyers before that they only had $500, they were able to buy a home. The key here is you need a realtor, and I'm not just promoting Hector or anybody that's really is there to help you buy a home. And nothing against realtors, please don't throw rocks at me, but usually they're the reason why you cannot own a home because they only want to serve those that has 20% down, 10% down, and credit score that's over 700. Well, when I was serving somebody before, I asked him, I said, what's your credit score? He said 900. How can it be 900? I think it's only 850 is the maximum. And he said, because I got 300 from Equifax, 300 from TransUnion. So this is why, just really that lack of knowledge and credit scoring, I swear, it's artificial to me. It's an artificial credit scoring. I do not like credit score. It's because it really doesn't tell you your ability to repay. And this is why, this credit repair we don't want to call it credit repair, credit restoration. So there's so many ways to skin the cat. Yes, Mr. Concepcion, sorry, Mr. Concepcion.
Okay, so credit score. Say that we can go and buy a house. What about, like, say you only work for about 6 months, a year, 2 years? What's the rate on that so you can get a home?
I think this is a lending question, but I can answer it or she can answer it. Let her answer it.
Yeah,
Or she can answer it.
Didi, okay. Go ahead, Didi.
Okay, so we often work with buyers that have seasonal employment. They work a few months out of the year and then they regularly do not work. The rule is that the underwriting guidelines say that that's perfectly acceptable as regular income. However, we need to establish that you've been working in the same line of work for a minimum of 2 years. You can have periodic times off that they need to be explained. For example, if you work in agriculture and then seasonally you're off and you receive unemployment and then you go back to work in agriculture, you don't have to work at the same employer. You do have to work in the same line of work for a minimum of 2 years. Now, let's say you're seasonally unemployed and you're during your unemployment period, you may not qualify while you're on your unemployment period. You may have to be back at work, get your first paycheck, and then qualify. So you have to time it correctly. If your employment has been 1 year you work in agriculture, then you have a break, and then another year you work in an office, and then you have a break, and then another year you work in retail, and you have a break, that's not gonna fly. You have to work in the same industry, in the same line of work, hopefully with the same job description in order to qualify. The exception to that is when you retire, or if you get a settlement or something like that that we can verify that has at least 3 years to continue, and it just started, that's qualifying income, whether it has a break in it or not. And it could be very recent.
Hi, this is Faith. You're actually, I don't know if you can see everybody, there's like 39 of us here. Can you talk to us about your own portfolio? Is that something that you can talk about?
Our portfolio is mainly loans that we do based with our own funds. So the bank's savings customers, we lend out that money. And we establish our own kind of guidelines for that. But it's all based on the Fannie Mae underwriting guidelines. And we also do Fannie Mae loans. So that's kind of what I'm quoting you. When I say underwriting is done this way, that's the Fannie Mae guidelines as well as ours. Our minimum down payment for a first-time home buyer is 3% of the purchase price. There are other programs like USDA and VA lending that do not require a down payment. In order to access those availability of those funds, you have to, for USDA, you have to be purchasing in an area that allows USDA funds to be used there. And for VA, you have to have a veteran's eligibility, which if you've served in the military and you got your Didi 214 when you were discharged, that will tell us if you have eligibility.
So Didi, what my understanding here is, say you open a bank account to Mechanics Bank and you start saving $1,000 and you save $10,000. I know it's called IDA program. So your $10,000 will be matched up to 4 times, right, Didi? So, but with a maximum of $33,000. So you already have $40,000, and for 5 years you don't have to pay that $30,000. So I mean, we can walk all year long in Fresno. I don't think we can find $30,000 on the floor. And this one, it's a grant. So I would really take advantage of that. And the sooner that you're interested on this, buying a home is the scariest thing and the biggest decision. I find it's buying a home and divorce. Those are the most stressful, because no matter how educated you are, and buying a home is still very, very stressful. So you really need a good, trusted realtor and a lender to guide you.
I have a question.
Yes.
What makes
Here, hold on, so we can. I'm like Jerry Springer here.
well, first of all, I was invited by Kike Valdez. No idea what I was coming to. So right now I'm still a little confused. What makes Mechanics Bank different from another mortgage lender? What is the difference?
I will answer that for you, Didi, because I don't want the bank to speak. I always believe in community banks. Community banks knows you. I hope nobody works here at Chase. If you go to Chase, do they know you? I don't think so. So that's, to me, that's really the difference. And we're not here to promote Mechanics Bank or any other bank because we're a 501c3, we're non-profit. We have to recommend like 2 or 3 lenders or 2 or 3 realtors to work with you. But in my experience of working in the financial institutions for over 2 decades, community bank, especially now, is the best one for you because they know you. It's knowing your customer. When you hear that the bank, KYC, knowing your customer, I don't think Wells Fargo or Chase knows you, right? But banks like Mechanics Bank, you know the manager, and again, helping you guide that. Like you know, helping you, if you are making $10,000 a month, how much do you really need to pay yourself? Say like 10%, that's my rule of thumb. So that's already, you know, $1,000, right?
Another question, just to give us an answer about financing an ADU, or is it someone else?
Didi, go
Yes, we finance the building of an ADU, but it's usually through a home equity line, or people take a refinance that takes cash out of their property to build an ADU. So we finance ADUs all the time, not directly. We don't do the construction lending. What we do is, let's say you want to build an ADU on your property and you go to a builder and you get a quote, a breakdown of how much it's going to cost. I would say add 15% to whatever cost he gives you. And then you come to the bank and you request a home equity line of credit on your property. And you take the money out and you use it to build the ADU.
Thank you.
Okay, so just as a hard counseling agency to continue answering your question, Mechanic Banks is a community bank. But trust me, there is only few banks in California that do the match program. That's why you use them. It's a lot of process. And as long as they are offering you this program, just use them. Your lender will take the money to apply for your loan. So there is a difference between a broker and a bank, and that's the difference. I'm sorry guys, I thought that you guys are seeing my presentation, but for technical issue, it appears that you guys are seeing only the first page. So I thought like I'm filming you.
You're still in the first page.
So I'm still on the first page. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, I can email it to you, but for that time, I'll pass the mic to the next.
Bringing copies of your.
I want to, first of all, it's all about the community, and this is what it is all about. Individuals working in the profession, coming out to educate the community, right? And I wish more these pews were full of individuals wanting to learn and wanting to gain information, because just like myself, Mr. Valdez invited me, other individuals invited me also, and this is an experience that you're not going to forget. I did a workshop at a church 10 years ago. The lady calls me 2 years ago and says, "Do you remember speaking at the church?" So what I'm saying is, you may not be ready now, right? You may not be ready tomorrow, next week, maybe in 12 months, maybe in 24 months. So therefore, what I'm saying is this information here is vital for you. So ask the questions, ask the specialists, ask the experts who are here to assist and help you. And thank you very much for your time, Mr. Valdez. Thank you.
Amen. I'm on the advisory board for Mechanics Bank. The thing also that they offer is they can give you consumer lending up to $15,000. And we've tried this, it's really easy. So these are the things that rather than going to payday lender, by the way, please do not use payday lending. Do not use private money because they charge you so much. Go to Mechanics Bank, and this is their own portfolio. They can give you even up $15,000 for any of your emergency. As long as you have you've been in a job for 2 years, it's really easy to apply, and the interest is only 14%. Really encouraging that from all of you. And I'm also encouraging you, thank you for telling about how important the workshop is. I think if you can do it, you know, the Nike slogan, just do it. Don't wait. Because if you wait, you wait and then you keep waiting and waiting, but by the time you know it, you're 65 years old, you have nothing. If I can do it, that came to this country, that did not know how to speak English, and don't own anything, and own, few homes, and live comfortably, all of you can do it, because at least everybody speaks English here already. So, and there's so many resources, that nobody's taking advantage of it. And don't be ashamed that you're taking some government subsidies, because we're paying taxes. If we don't take it, they take it back. And this is why, like, we're applying for a grant from appropriation money, because the congressman, the mayor, the county supervisor, the senator, they have their own money. So if we work together with Time and Destiny New Beginnings, that we can ask them, provide more down payment assistance. So if we do this together, all of you should own a home. Do not rent if you can pay mortgage. And for the first time home buyer, don't think that you're gonna buy a Taj Mahal. No. You're gonna buy, when I moved here in this country, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment. There's 3 of us. Because I saw it in the television, Three's Company. Because I can't afford a $400 rent. So that's what you do for the youngers. For the Zavala kids. You can own a home. You stay in the master's bedroom and you rent the rooms. Then somebody pays for the mortgage. So I don't know. Okay, no, it's not no. I can afford it. I can't buy it. I don't know what to do and blah 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 blah. Yes, you can. Sese puede.
We're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go back to the quote, John, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and open up my presentation. Every person who invests in a well-selected real estate in a growing section of a prosperous community adopts the surest and safest method of becoming independent for real estate is the basis of wealth. So basically what that means is invest in yourself, invest in your family, invest in your community, and then you too can start building your wealth. I started, like I said, as a realtor about 3 years ago. And because of the grace of God and my hard work, I've been able to kind of build a network. I've been able to meet great people like Enrique Valdez, Charlie Sanchez, Gary Carter. Pastor Paul has brought really great people, and I really want to thank Faith and the NDC. I want to thank Clever Community for coming out here. This is a really big thing for our communities. These kind of people don't come to our communities and want to help out what we call low to moderate income families. So this is you guys are really going to get great information. You're going to take good advantage of this information. And like Mr. Carter said, maybe not now, but maybe 8 years down the line you're ready. What we want to do is we want to educate you. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Okay, so we gotta educate ourselves. We gotta uplift our communities. And it starts now, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start my presentation. It's achieving home ownership for low to moderate income families. Basically what we're saying here is that if you're low income, like Didi said, and you work seasonal jobs, you too can own a home, okay? If you're moderate income, you're middle class, and you wanna own a home, you can own a home. It takes time, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of counseling, meeting with credit repairs, meeting with different individuals like realtors, lenders. But as long as you apply yourself and there's a pathway, then you can actually become an owner. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So understanding the barriers of homeownership. One of the things that we always encounter is limited access to credit. What does that mean? It means that we think that we can't borrow that money from the bank. It's very common when I meet with someone to say, well, I can't own a home. And I say, why can't you own a home? Well, I don't make enough money. Well, there's programs, right? There's a FHA program, there's a USDA program, and here in our communities, the only city that doesn't qualify because it's really close to Fresno is Sanger. Harlier, Selma, Wheatley, Dinuba, all of them 100% financing, guys, USDA loans, okay? They're really good programs out there. Lack of financial literacy. We don't know the game of money. It's honestly, it's a language. It's all it is. I'm not nothing special. I just learned the language of money. I learned the language of real estate. So as long as you start learning it, you start educating yourself, meet with the right people, you'll learn this language, okay? Insufficient down payment funds. That's where NDC comes in. That's where Time and Destiny EDC comes in. That's where Clever Community comes in. You get a HUD certificate. You get access to CalHAFA. You get access to all these down payment assistance programs, okay? So the money's out there, we just gotta go and get it, okay? And that's what we're here for. We're gonna go and get that money for the community. And then the high closing costs and ongoing expenses. I'll tell you guys a quick story. So I had a client, hardworking farm workers, 3.5% down. They were doing an FHA loan. They didn't have the money for closing. All they had was the money for down payment. I called the realtor. I said, look, my clients are really interested in this home, but they don't have a lot of access to a lot of money. I was working with a mentor of mine. His name is Joe Castillo. We reached out and we negotiated the closing costs. So the closing cost was paid by the seller, and then we were able to get the people in the home. So it's possible, okay? And then we're gonna go into exploring government-backed loan programs. So these are the actual loans that a lot of our community members use. FHA loan, this is the lower down payment. This is the 3.5% down. That's what you need to get into a home, okay? So you gotta have this money to get the loan, okay? So that's one of our lowest ones, but there is like the USDA that offers 100% financing. But FHA is a really good program for people that are low to moderate income. The other one is the VA loan. So this is the veterans. The veterans, unfortunately, suffer from not being homeowners, and they served our country. So we are able to help these people get into homes by educating them and through the pathway, through NDC, through Time and Destiny EDC, through Clever Community, we're able to get you guys into a home, okay? And then the last one is the USDA home, loans. That's 100% financing, guys. Like I said, rural communities, Harlier, Selma, Wheatley, they all qualify. And these are all in our local vicinity. Fresno, that's a bigger city, Sanger's a bigger city, but they don't qualify for those. Like there is FHA, you can do VA loans. So definitely good programs that we can take advantage of, okay? Leveraging down payment assistance opportunities, okay? So that's where we're gonna use NDC. That's where we're gonna use Time and Destiny, EDC, Clever Communities. Let's get you guys a HUD certificate, okay? It's about an 8-hour course that you have to take. Once you get that certificate, then you can apply it to Mechanics Bank with Didi, you can apply it to other institutions, and then you're able to qualify for those grants, that money that's allocated to the communities, okay? Yes, sir.
Well, what is a certificate, for those who don't know, what does a certificate represent?
Right. So the HUD certificate is basically, it's a 8-hour course that you take, and then through Clever Community, they give you what's called a HUD certificate. This HUD certificate is saying, hey, this person has gone through the courses, they understand what home buying is, and they are able to get that certificate and then apply it towards the purchase of their home. So they'll actually take it to an institution like Mechanics Bank, and then Mechanics Bank will say, okay, this person is qualified and ready to buy a home, okay? Yes, Faith.
Yes, so the certificate will allow you to apply for down payment assistance not only with mechanic banks but with all the banks. Each bank have different programs. There is other programs with, as I told you, Cal HFA. There is many programs. Once you take the certificate, we'll send you the links for all the programs, and it will be your choice to apply to any one of them. But as I told you, with mechanic banks, they have a great program. It's the match program, and you guys should open an account and just save the money so they can match it.
So Mike,
we're already listening here for 2 hours, right? So would that deduct from the 8 hours?
Yeah, so if you guys gonna sign up, we're gonna give you a discount of 1 hour.
No, but it
We'll make
really
it 7
does.
hours, no problem. Yeah.
We learned a lot already, so the 8
Exactly,
hours, I mean,
yeah.
because 8 hours is grueling, I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah,
So
that's-
you're gonna deduct the 2 hours.
We'll make it 7 hours.
So Hector,
Yes, sir.
Can I interject something there?
Yeah, go ahead, Didi.
So the reason for the homebuyer education is actually because the agencies that have money that they want to dedicate to assisting first-time homebuyers of low and moderate income, they've determined that a buyer that has taken a course like this is a better risk. Because they've educated themselves on what it takes to own a home long-term, not just buy it, not just get into it, but they know about what it takes to get insurance, to do repairs, to do maintenance, to budget, to manage your finances successfully. And all of this, which goes into the 8-hour course, makes them better buyers. And that's why they require it in order to get their money. Just thought I should explain that.
Thank you, Didi. Appreciate it.
Hector, so that
Yes, go-
certificate is almost like a pre-qualified there. With those two, you're pretty much.
It's sort of a pre-qualified, it's more like, hey, this person's ready. And then like Didi elaborated, it's less risk for them because they know that this person's educated, they've gone through counseling, they've gone through different people that are professionals, lenders, realtors, that they know they're educated enough to say, okay, they can own a home. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Is there a time age limit on that? Like, so you do it today, right? And then you don't get it to 2 years later, and then you take a certificate to the bank. Is there an age like the time?
Yes.
Like, do you have to do it within the year, or is
It is within a year.
So yeah, his question is if you take the courses, you do the 8 hours, how fast or how long is that certificate good for? And Didi answered 1 year. So you have 1 year. So once you do 8 hours through us, through Clever Community, then you'll get your certificate, and then you have 1 year from the time you get your certificate to proceed forward to purchase a home. Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, so I'll go ahead and proceed. And then the other one is a first-time home buyers program. First-time home buyers program is that FHA type of loans at 3.5% down, that USDA. There is down payment assistance. There's a lot of different programs available. We just got to take advantage of them. We got to get educated and use the resources that we have to go ahead and help these first-time home buyers get into a home. Navigating the HUD homes and dollar home incentives. HUD is the Housing Urban Development. They actually have different homes that are available to the community. We do need to work with the nonprofits to get into these type of homes, but they do have what are called foreclosed properties at a discount by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And then you have dollar homes. They haven't done those in a while, but there is that program where they will actually sell you a house for $1. You just have to commit to repairing that home and getting it back to livable conditions. But as long as you commit yourself and you're able to demonstrate that you're able to afford the repairs, and they go ahead and they will sell you that home. Okay. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
With that last thing, is there any like grants for like upgrades, like solar, like windows? If you're gonna upgrade the house, is there any grants?
Yeah, there is a lot of programs that different, like the city of Fresno offers, city of Clovis. There's a hero program that'll kind of help with the windows. It'll bring new ACs, solar systems. So they're always allocating different funds. They put them on the budget, and then they're able to assist people that need insulation in their homes. They need windows in their home. They need a new roof in their home. It is what we call kind of like a second. They kind of put those funds that was allocated onto your property taxes, and then that money is paid yearly through your property taxes. Let's say you sell the home in between, then you are on the hook for the balance of whatever the repairs were. Was it windows? It was $10,000 they put on you, dual pane windows or triple pane windows. And let's say you paid $7,000, and you owe them $3,000 at the end when you sell your home.
There's also a grant for PG&E. Pacific Gas and Electric, you're familiar with the CARE, right? Or FIRA, or ISA. Those are the PG&E low-income subsidies for houses that needs insulation. So don't forget, PG&E also gives you guys grants.
I'm also on the advisory panel of PG&E. Thank you, Faith.
Yeah.
You know what? They do weatherization for free. So they give you, they weatherize your house. They replace your refrigerator, it's using a lot of energy. They replace your wall air conditioners and things like that. Also, the stripping on the bottom of your doors. They give you brand new windows. There's so many things that PG&E does that we don't take advantage of. And I know that a lot of people that have done that. So if you want more questions about that, like I said, Faith and I, we're on the advisory panel for PG&E. And there's a lot of information that we have for that also.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions on that? Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. Utilizing state and local housing assistance programs, okay? So this is the CalHAFA program, okay? State of California allocates money to help people get into homes, okay? They are able to do down payment assistance. They're able to help you with weatherization. There is a bunch of different programs out there. We just gotta get in touch with those programs, and then there's a process, but as long as you do the process, you do the application, and then that's where we'll come in. We'll help you guys with all that process. We'll help you guys get started, and then make sure that you guys are able to take advantage of these programs, okay? There's also, and I'm working directly with the City of Parlier. The City of Parlier is, they're building homes, Monterey homes there. They are developing a program, it's called the City Program, where they're actually going to be distributing up to $75,000 to people. The money is in the process. They're actually waiting for the state seal, but they are taking applications already. So there is a lot of programs out there, guys. We gotta start using them all. Okay.
I'm sorry, Hector. One more time.
Yes.
You guys, I'm just gonna let you guys know, Faith from the National Diversity Coalition, they've only done nonprofit in LA. They're expanding here through Time and Destiny. Not only do we want to help people get into a home, if you need credit repair, we have credit repair. If you want construction done, we connect. It's just a huge organization, the National Diversity Coalition. We also do financial literacy. We go to schools and educate the kids. There's just an abundance, first-time homeowners. I mean, there's abundance of things. The reason why I connected with National Diversity Coalition is because we, as low and moderate income individuals, we like Hector said, people perish because of lack of knowledge, lack of information, and there's so many grants and so many things that can happen. Myself, I was not a believer. Faith introduced me. I sit at the tables with banks, not the branch manager. I'm talking about the CEOs of the bank and the owners of the banks, and they're telling me that if they know you see, a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you go to meetings like this and you get certificates, the better chances that you have of owning a home. The better chance, if you go to a mechanics bank workshop with Didi, right, then she's gonna know, hey, you know what, I went to your workshop. Familiarization, relationship is huge in this. And so don't count yourself out. The National Diversity Coalition is part of it is a nonprofit, and we're going to expand. We want to be here to help you with whatever it is you need. PG&E, like I said, we're connected with PG&E, Mechanics Bank, real estate, homeowners, tax repairs, and the list goes on. There's just so many things that National Diversity Coalition does, and I'm so proud and glad to be a part of it. And that's why we're bringing that to you. We're going to bring awareness on solar panels with Charlie. We want to get solar panels. The list goes on. Car rental, purchasing, a lot. I'm just so excited, but there's so many things to do. Angelica, you have a question? Where do you get started?
We're actually gonna be taking the sign up. We're gonna have a sign up sheet, and we'll actually be taking your information down, and then we'll start communicating with you guys directly. We're gonna have somebody through the NDC, through Clever Community, to kind of start developing that whole program, so you guys can get the HUD certificate, so you can get access to all these grants. Okay. So actually, before we leave, we'll go ahead and pass out the sign up sheet. And then you guys will go ahead and then we'll start counting the hours. Hopefully Mike gives us an extra hour, but we'll see. Okay, and then like I said, the local government initiatives providing financial aid for home ownership. That's like the city of Parlier. Me and Ricky have actually gone out to the community. We've met with the realtor in charge. We've met with the lender. Great program, great people. They're there to help. Even though somebody didn't qualify for that particular program, we're actually in escrow to get them another home. So it doesn't mean it has to be that home, but we are able to get them another home, okay? Go ahead and go to the next slide. And then preparing for home buying process, okay? So this is where it starts, guys. This is the beginning. So you meet with the realtor, you meet with myself, you meet with Mr. Carter, you meet with Gina, yes. You meet with the realtor, okay? And our job is to educate you. Our job is to show you how you get into a home, okay? It's our job to go ahead and prepare you to say, okay, let's look at your credit. Let's look at your income. Let's go ahead and look at how much money you have saved, because we need all those things. I actually have two people that I've met with in the past that are here in the audience, Joseph and his brother, and we got them to almost, we're almost there. Like, we're moments away from getting them into a home. There are little things that we need that we've talked about, but through this program, they'll be able to own a home, okay? So it's just sitting down with us, I educate you, we go through the process, we kind of get you pre-approved, and then you know what you need, okay? Once we get what we need, then we're able to go ahead and proceed and present an offer, and then see if we get accepted and get into escrow, and eventually getting you guys into your home, okay? Saving for the down payment, okay? That's the hard part. I know sometimes it's hard to save that extra buck. I know it's hard because we're on a budget, it's a reality here. We are agriculture-based communities, and it's seasonal. Sometimes the job is good, sometimes the job is not good. But if we're able to help with the down payment assistance, we're able to kind of help you guys set you up for that down payment, then you're able to see that it doesn't take that much. For a $300,000 home, which is pretty average here in Sanger, part of your area, you need 3.5%, so that's about $11,500, okay? The closing cost, we can negotiate it, but it's about $11,500 that the bank wants to see, okay? And then we get you pre-approved, okay? So like I said, you go through the whole process, get you pre-approved. What a pre-approval letter does is lets the other realtors know, lets the other seller know, hey, this person's ready, they're serious, they want to go ahead and get the process started and get some money into escrow, get into a contract, and buy the house. Okay?
Hector?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay if I ask Aldiva to because while we're in the credit store? Because, like I told you, I'm in my credit store. I find it artificial. Can you give us some tips on this artificial?
You want to go ahead and come up? Yeah. So we have a credit expert here that is going to go ahead and share some knowledge.
Okay, so when it comes to credit, how many of you have Credit Karma on your phones? Deduct 45 points from your credit score, that's where you're going to be to buy a home. How many of you have Experian.com or bank apps? That's a FICO 8, deduct 30 points. That's where you're going to be to buy a home. When you buy a home, your lenders are pulling a FICO 2, FICO 4, FICO 5. It is not a FICO 8. It is not a Vantage score. So sometimes you think that your scores are way up here, and then you go and you apply for a home, and your lender is telling you, well, your score is really here, and you're mad because your app is telling you something else. So it's important to understand that there's different permissible purposes behind the pull, and there's different FICO score algorithms for what we need. So when you go buy a car, Faith mentioned earlier, someone mentioned they had a 900 score. When you go buy an auto loan or buy a vehicle, you can have a 900 Vantage score, because your auto Vantage score will go up to a 900. Really? But your FICO only goes up to 850. So it's an inflated score. So it's really important to understand so that you don't fight with your lenders. They're not trying to tell you that you have a different score. It's based on the different permissible purpose, okay? Also, when you buy a home, your lowest score gets ignored. Your highest score gets ignored. And whatever your middle score is determines the approval or denial. So if you have Credit Karma and you need down payment assistance, they require a 640 score. So both of your Credit Karmas better be 685 or higher, so that you have a higher chance of your lender pulling a 640. Okay, now I have a question for you. You're like, okay, Ali, I have a low score, but I have a cosigner. Whose credit score with a cosigner makes a difference? The one with the highest score or the lowest score? What do you guys think? Huh? Exactly. When you buy a car, the person with the highest FICO score or Auto Vantage score qualifies for the purchase. When you buy a home, the person with the lowest middle FICO score determines an approval or denial. So having a cosigner doesn't necessarily benefit you unless it's monetary. So I'll be back up to speak when it's my turn.
Awesome, thank you.
You brought something up to my attention. I bought my first home as a single person with the FICO score. Now I'm buying with the LLC. Is that the Dun & Bradstreet report? Or is that a different FICO? Dun & Bradstreet's for LLC? Because I'm working with the lender, commercial lender, and they're saying about my Dun & Bradstreet, which Hector is helping me with, but is that a different process?
It is. So when you have an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp, you have your EIN number,
yes,
which will give you a DMV number.
Okay.
And so our FICO score goes up to 850. But when you have a business, a perfect score is a paid index score of 80.
Okay.
So 850 for FICO, paid index score 80.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the FICO anymore because that's not in my world anymore. I'm more interested in making an appointment with you. What did you say about the LLC, that we're going to do a certain thing to buy that way? Or?
Yeah, so there's...
Could you expand on it? Because there's several people that are in that boat.
Of course. So there's DSRM loans out there. So what that means is if you ever want to buy investment properties,
yes,
as long as you have an LLC or an S Corp or even a C Corp, you need to have the 20% down. And as long as when they do the market research, if the rental exceeds 1% of the mortgage payment, then you can actually purchase a home through your LLC and not through your social security number. And that way everything reports to DMV and Experian Business and not your personal credit. And it frees up your money, but it has to be a rental. It cannot be something for you to move into.
Is the banker still online with us? The banker with Mechanical
Yes.
Bank?
Yeah, I believe she's on. I don't know
Okay,
if
I have a
Mechanics
question for
Bank
Mechanical Bank in regards to that.
Mechanics Bank or...
Yeah, Mechanics Bank. My question is, as an LLC, can I apply through Mechanics Bank for the loan that our rep is talking about?
I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
Mechanics Bank works with those DSRM loans.
DSRM loans.
They may for commercial lending, but not for residential properties. For residential properties, we need a personal guarantor. You can invest it in an LLC, but it has to be your personal credit used for 1 to 4 residential properties is different from any other kind of property. If you buy apartments or anything more than 5 units, it has totally different underwriting guidelines than 1 to 4 family.
On behalf of all the people that need a house, I want to thank everyone that came from far away. Didi, you sound like 21. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. I had no idea. Thank you for what you're doing for the community. That you're doing because there's a big need, lack of information. So, on behalf of everyone that needs a house, thank you.
And it's our pleasure, but it's also our duty, guys. It's our duty to educate the community and to help through Time and Destiny, EDC, and through the National Diversity Coalition, and through Clever Community Home. We're able to help out. So it's our duty. It's an honor for me, honestly. Okay, go ahead and go to the next slide, John. Keys to successful homeownership, financial planning, meeting with credit repair, knowing where you're at. Don't just guess. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, that's not possible. Don't let, if they're not educated, they're not professional, don't even waste your time. Go to somebody that's licensed. Go to a Gary Carter. Go to myself. Go to somebody that you know that is a licensed realtor, that is a licensed lender. Go to Didi. She works at Mechanics Bank. She does this for a living. We live, eat, breathe real estate, guys. It's a full-time job. Okay, so definitely get the knowledge and the resources that you need. And number 2, home maintenance. Regular inspections, upkeeping, making sure that your home's in good standing and all that good stuff. That'll definitely help you build your wealth. If you buy a home and then you let it deteriorate a few years later, then you're going to start losing value on your home. So making sure that you just keeping up with the home. And then let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, so that pretty much concludes it. I'm just going to go ahead and share one more slide really quick. This is actually going to be my information. You guys can take a picture of the QR code. Anybody needs to contact me, anybody needs to reach out to me, you guys can go ahead and take a picture of the QR code and give us give me a call. And then I would also say, Mr. Carter, make sure you share your information, and then we'll help you guys get connected and get you guys into a home. The job here is not for me to be the only realtor here. No, there should be other realtors in the audience helping these people, because I can't help all 40 people of you guys by myself. We need a team. We need other realtors. We need other lenders to help you guys get into your home. Okay, so that concludes my presentation. I think we're going to go ahead and get.
We're going to go with Ali real quick.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get Ali up here, and she's going to go over some credit details.
Well, that was a short time sitting down. Okay. So my name is Ali. I do own Recovery Credit Repair. Been in the industry since 2015. I'm also a certified credit counselor through Freddie Mac, which is a big achievement as well. So things that I want to talk to you guys about is, who here knows what's revolving debt? What can you guys tell me? What do you think revolving debt is? Credit cards, exactly. Why are credit cards so important? Well, not just to build your credit, but I want you guys to think of a teeter-totter when we were a kid, okay? When we have a credit card with a 0 balance, we're level, right? There's nothing pushing us up or down. But the more we spend on our credit card, the more our scores go down. The less we spend on our credit card, the more our scores go up. So when you think of debt up, scores down, debt down, scores up, it makes sense, right? So whenever we max out a card, or we use 50% of our credit limit to 100%, we drop our scores 80 to 120 points in 1 month. Okay, so it's important to realize that we have control over that. Okay, when it comes to installment debt, what do you guys think installment debt is?
Everything. The term agreement.
Exactly, terms, which means cars, personal loans, student loans, mortgage loans. anything that's a loan, okay? You've always made your payments on time. You've never been late. The glorious day comes that you make that final payment, and what happens to the account? It closes. And what happens to your credit? It drops you 50 points. So when I see all these affirms and all these little, payday loans and things like that on your credit, while you're making the payment, it's helping your scores. But the minute you pay it off, it deems you 50 points. So is that 4 months free as cash worth it? Not really. But people don't think about that because our society's so focused on the convenience of a monthly payment as opposed to the convenience of paying in full, right? How many vehicles am I seeing right now in today's world? People are paying $1,300 a month for a car. Does a car make you money? It gets you to and from work, right? But guess what happens to a car? It depreciates in value. Okay? And then I'm seeing 7-year loans. So are you aware that in that 7 years, the first 4 years, you're paying 90% interest and 10% principal? And in the last 3 years, you're paying more principal and less interest because the bank gets their money first. And it's all this mindless spending. Whenever you guys go to a car lot, please, when the people tell you, hey, your car payment's gonna be this for this many months, please take out your calculator and go this times this equals this, because that's how much that car is costing you. I'm seeing $16,000 cars costing our youth $46,000. Because they're so focused on, I got my first car, I could afford the payment. But they're not seeing what that payment's doing to them. So it's important to think about that, okay? Other things I want you guys to consider, especially when buying a home. How many of you think it's a good idea to pay off your car before you buy a home? No one? One person? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a trick. Don't pay off the car. Pay it down to where you only owe 10 payments or less. Your lender won't count the car payment against your debt to income ratio, and you can qualify for more home. And you keep your scores higher because you didn't pay off that loan. So there's different workarounds to get what you want. Okay, but you guys need to know the secrets to get you there. So I want to talk about collections. I know all of you in here have an 850 score, and none of you have any collections or charge-offs on your credit. But you have friends, family, and exes that do. Okay, so how long, and this is a legit question, how long is debt legally collectible in the state of California? I heard 10 years, 2 years, 7 years, 4 years from the date of last payment. It's always been 4 years. So any debt older than today's date, 2021 and older, is not legally collectible by law in California. They only have 4 years to take you to court or collect on the debt. Now, a debt collector's calling you and harassing you and going, hey, just give me a $5 payment and I promise I won't call you back till next year. Till next month, forgive me, till next month. And you're like, fine, stop calling me, here's my $5, leave me alone. That one $5 payment just gave them 4 years to come after you. So it's well, if it's over 4 years old, you don't want to pay it. But that's why you come and see me, because then we help you with that, Yes. Okay, student loans are evil. Student loans, if they're federal student loans, unless they're paid off or we're 6 feet under, they don't go away. Okay, but if if it's a student loan because you started going to a class and then you stopped, or maybe you registered for a class and never attended, FAFSA cannot legally pay for that student loan. So then they send you to collections for that semester that you didn't show up to, okay? And guess what that becomes? Becomes a private student loan and statutes of limitations applies. Yes, or if it's private student loan, not federal. Okay. Yes, sir.
State or federal debt.
And meaning taxes?
Taxes,
So
how long is the limit of years for them to collect?
IRS has 10 years and Franchise Tax Board has 25.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
How about a judgment?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So judgments. So back in the day when I used to sue people, yes, I used to be a bad girl back in the day. Judgments were only good for 10 years. Okay, but someone got bored at the courthouse and said, you know, they already paid to file this against someone, so they should be able to renew the judgment. So now 6 months before the 10 years is up, they can renew it for another 10 years. 6 months before the 20 years is up, they can renew it again. So it can keep going, yes.
What happens with an individual, say for example, if they're married and the spouse passed away, is that credit
Go on with the spouse that's living, or does that die dead when the person is deceased? How does that work?
So that's a great question. Now, the way that it would continue on with the spouse is if it's a joint account. If it's an individual account, then you could usually produce the death certificate and it can go away. But if a creditor discovers that there's a trust or a probate, they can come after it. So because California is community debt or community property, and every state is different. So, and also one thing I want to let you guys know, when it comes to judgments and tax liens, as of January 1st of 2018, they no longer show up on our credit reports. So sometimes you don't even know that you have one. We do public record searches at our office and we find them just to protect you before you buy a home. Because there are some title companies that do not run SI reports, which means Statement of Information on Buyers. And you could still buy a home if you have a judgment. But some title companies, they do their due diligence and they run SI reports on buyers and sellers. So we never want you guys to have a surprise. So we always check. Yes, ma'am.
So I just want, because I used to work for a title company, so if you want to avoid the SI,
Don't open with Fidelity or Chicago.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you who to go to.
statement of information.
Yeah, statement of information.
Oh.
Statement of information.
Yeah, so what a statement of information does is they look for any public records, tax liens, judgments against you that you might not even know is against your name. Yes,
I
sir.
have a question. Do I need the mic? What's the question?
Thank you. Compliance from state of California came knocking on my door. Hector helped me with that. I want to compliment him. It was a $30,000 lien. When I talked to them, they're messing with me. Hector got into, I'm acknowledging Hector because he helped me with the 30,000. Not a, we're gonna sue you tax lien. Don't talk to the government people yourself. Hire a third party.
Right.
At the end, I negotiated down to 5,000, but it was ugly. I didn't have 5,000. And then it cost me like 3,000 to do the paperwork. Do you bump into those problems too sometimes?
Yeah, I do offer compromises with IRS all the time.
Okay.
I actually had a client with a $75,000 debt that we settled for $5,000.
See, so I heard a comment just back there from Mr. Gary Carter that you answered a question that I think he didn't have the information. And by the way, he's also a professor at Fresno City College. Yes. He teaches real estate principles, so if you want to get
I've spoken at one of his presentations.
Oh.
Honey, I speak everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared now. But I wanted to bring up that tech thing because it was very scary for me.
Yeah.
I had a heart attack before that. It was ugly because they came to my house with a badge and a gun and threatened me that I was a tax evader. I was not. Somebody stole my ID down south and was running up the numbers. So that's another. Do you work with?
So I hope you have the identity protection pin now.
I don't have that. I don't have that, but I need to.
That'd be 911.
Appointment.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, we're gonna close out, which is the last one, we're gonna do closing comments.
I have a question. Do you happen to do loan modification for mortgages as well?
I'm not a lender, I'm just very well versed in lending.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're not? Okay.
I'm not a lender, no.
Yeah, for any loan modification, you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We've done
You wanna close
so
out?
many.
Anything?
Yeah, so, God, you guys just began asking me a bunch of questions.
She will be available after, are you
Yeah,
available?
I will be available after. I brought some flyers with me. I've got business cards. Hablamos en español, falamos en portugués. So we are a trilingual company. If you guys have any friends or family that have I-10s, we specialize in our I-10 community, so we can help them out too. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys, really quick, I want to let you guys know that I am part of a Faith Youth National Diversity Coalition has brought my wife, babe, where are you at, baby? Come up here, please. This year is our 25-year anniversary. You guys, we joined, we're very passionate about National Diversity Coalition with Faith. She's the founder and CEO. You know why? Because it empowers individuals to overcome barriers, to overcome and transform their lives in every aspect, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, in every which way. And we have a vision that we want to be the hub to help people in our communities with whatever it is that's needed, and so what do we want to do? Regardless of your past, regardless of your race, your color, or whatever, we want you to experience dignity, stability, hope, and faith, okay? The pastor and me's coming out of me, okay? We are connected with the Black Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're connected with the Hmong community. We're connected with Laos community, with Hispanic, with Asian, with everybody. And we want to make a difference, not only for the Hispanic and the Latino community, but we have a vision where we all get together and help each other out. To meet people like Gary Carter, to meet people like Mike, to meet people like Hector, where we all come together and make this world a better place. There's resources like Ali says, that Ali has, that we'll be able to do. What do we want? What are we looking for? We want hope. We want restoration. We want you to live a better life. We want to go from a rental to an owner. The Bible says, you will lend and not borrow. The Bible also says, I'm going to give you vineyards you didn't plant and cities you didn't build. So it comes through empowerment and it comes through education. We would have never been, my wife and I would never be sitting here talking to you if we didn't meet Faith, who is the National Diversity Coalition. If you're interested in joining, it's only $100,000 a year. No, I said.
Zero.
No, but Faith, you have taught us so much. And she comes from LA. Mike comes from San Diego. These people are coming up here for us in the Central Valley. Charlie, Hector, we're coming together. I've told you before, we've been pushed. You've been pushed, Gary, you've been pushed, Mike, we've all been pushed, Ellie, but guess what? We all got pushed together. And now that we got pushed together, we're gonna make things happen for our community, for the Black, the Hispanic, Asian, Hmong. I mean, we're just gonna, can I be honest with you? As a pastor, I can only pray for people. Faith goes, you know what? Let's go a step further. Let's give them mental health wellness. So now we're diverting, not only are we homeowners, now we're new beginnings and we help deal with mental health. We have therapists, we have doctors, and we have clinicians and behavioral specialists. So this is just the beginning of what National Diversity is going to do and what we're aligned to do. So if you want to get together, talk to Faith after. Really quick, my wife.
He wanted to talk because he didn't speak today. I just want to say that believe in yourself. We were homeless at one point. And we had 3 kids when we were homeless. And we're here now, we have a church, and it's because first we believed in God and then we believed in ourselves. But you do need somebody to help you through this. This is where the Ellies come in, the Faiths come in, the Hectors come in. I am in debt honored with what you've done for us. Really, Hector. This is, trust him. Domingo and Joseph, trust the process. Trust the process. You'll get here where we're at. Right now, Faith tells me, let's go. Now we can travel. Now we can do things. You know, we were living from paycheck to paycheck, but now I believe in myself. I trust in God. I trust in people. Trust in people. Believe in us. Trust us that we will not misguide you. Thank you for coming. We thank you for just taking 1 hour to know knowledge. Knowledge is power. If you have that knowledge and unity are power.
And at this time, we're going to close it out with
Branches in Bakersfield, 2 in Fresno, 1 in Hanford, and 3 in Visalia.
Excellent.
So if you are local and you want to talk to a lender, I'm actually located in Santa Maria. Our local lender out there is Eli Pimentel, and we both are Hispanic. We both speak Spanish, so we're available. But she would be the one to actually help you out there, and just go through the process, take the steps. I know everyone, the first instinct you have is go look at an open house and go make an offer. But you really want to be prepared, be pre-qualified, find out if you have enough money, if your credit is good enough. Go through the steps, you'll feel much more comfortable and you'll understand the process, which hopefully you'll all get into a home. And thank you again for doing this for everybody.
Thank you so much, Didi. Give it up for Mechanics Bank. Now we're going to give it up for Faith, you guys. National Diversity Coalition.
Don't leave here empty-handed, okay? So, few things just to summarize. You can borrow money up to $15,000 as a consumer. If you're a business, we can give you up to $100,000 of loan. If you are ready to buy a home, talk to the consultants here and be a mortgage ready. And even if you're not ready to buy a home and thinking about it, don't even think about it, just buy.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the process is. Also, for if you are not getting any discount with PG&E right now, Pastor Paul has the application. Anybody, if you are under medical baseline, by the way, you don't have to qualify for the income. If somebody in your house is using an oxygen or asthma or like that, you can get up to like $35% discount from PG&E. So there's other also the broadband. If you are in the low moderate income, there's a broadband. It used to be Affordable Connectivity Program, but they give you a universal lifeline discount. So take advantage of every government subsidies that's offering to you. Grab it, take it. Even though sometimes when you have a TIN number, you can be qualified on other programs as well. I hope the new administration have not changed that, but others, there's a lot of even with a TIN number. So we'll be here for a while if you have any specific questions, and if you find this useful, please attend to the next one, and then or call Pastor Paul. Thank you. Gracias.